I was hit with multiple points this chapter. With this chapter, we were given a couple areas that I thought were going to be negative, but all came out positive because now Shiki is mad. He's like, "Listen, I'm not here to defeat you. I'm here to take you to Hamura. I'm here to finish off Valkyrie's last wish. What her entire objective or mission was." And whatever Hamura wants to do to you after that, that's up to her. That's not on me. That's all her. So let's go. And he's getting ready to throw hands with Kurenai and her crew. You got Baku, Garen, and Nino, and they're just like, what is wrong with this dude? He's smashing up the floors of this tower. Kurenai's like, all right, whatever. Brings out her punishment. What does she call them? She just calls them Punisher, which is her big fodder robot crew. And it makes me sad because I liked them. I like the design. I just think it's a very strange design. I don't know, I think it's the strange helmet I like a lot. But she just like, go deal with them. And, I think anybody who sees the main character go up against a bunch of random fodder characters and there's no hype behind it when they're all, the main character's not nerfed or anything. It's like, you poor souls. You poor nameless henchmen. Like so many before you, set up for failure. And then Shiki just does his gravity wave, he starts throwing people around, and he brings them all in, and then he just throws for some attacks. And it has this really nice spread with remembrance of the chapter 1 when he was fighting all those robots on Granville. But this time, he's instead of like fighting to protect Rebecca, he's fighting to help Hamura. And not in a way of like, I've got to save her, I've got to do these things. He's like, it's for her, it's for closure. And, it's an important aspect to what she was doing, so I'm going to get it done. Plus, obviously, he was moved by Valkyrie's end mission, and the fact that she wasn't able to fulfill it because she didn't want to just abandon this town. She was a good person and helped them. So I'm wondering also by that, it's like, was she decided to become like that after she left Ziggy, or was she always just kind of like a nice, like, had honor fighter? I mean, it could have easily been like, because Ziggy was like the Demon King, in quotes. So I'm wondering if it's going to be kind of like how I imagine Shiki. Is Shiki's going to be like a nice guy, but then like, you threaten his crew or do something that, pisses him off. And he goes from nice guy to not like Haru of like, all right, I'm about to deal with you. Not like Natsu of like pissed off, more like Shiki of like, okay, now I'm going to be a villain. We're dealing with this. Which is that nice kind of like different trait for him. But Baku, as his thing being speed, comes in, starts, kicking up Shiki. Garrett comes in, whips him, he's got his paralysis electrifying whip, zaps him, Baku's throwing some attacks. But then Shiki goes over, gets behind him, and instead of like, oh, now I'm just gonna like, okay, well, like, beat him up on him, take him out, just kind of like fodderize some opponent. Which I like that these guys are actually like a fighting force that Shiki has to be careful with because they're all actually pretty powerful, as we've already seen. I'm guessing Nino's the strongest, but once Shiki's behind him, he doesn't go for some like big crazy attack. He instead just uses gravity itself and pretty much makes it so Baku is, instead of falling down, he's falling a different direction and going right towards Garrett. He's going more for, I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to crowd control you guys and get to Kurenai. And I was worried once Shiki got in range because we saw like her when she sent out the Punisher robots and she seemed very confident. But after Shiki wrecked them, it was like she seemed a little shaken up. I was like, oh shit, maybe she's not powerful and she just was very confident in her crew and it doesn't look 100% her way. But then like Shiki gets in, he ends up throwing a punch and ends up getting blocked. I was very happy about this. As Kurenai, she's got this weird, I don't know if you can hear my loud ass cats in the background. Every time I try and record a video, they decide it's time to get loud. But she's got this weird gear on, and I'm wondering what this is going to equal out. Like, what exactly is it going to be? Because it's not like just, her natural power. I mean, you can see, like, whenever she does something like this, her weird little gauntlet glows, and then at the end of the last chapter, it had, like, smoke coming out of it. I'm wondering if it's like a new age ether gear. Because one thing Hiramishima talked about in one of the volumes that he originally planned for ether gear to be like, armor. It was going to be something you wear. But here, it's like a mark. It's like a tattoo thing. So maybe this is like a much newer version because Ether Gear, like as we see with like Shiki and something like Wise or Mora, Draken Joe, theirs is, it's like a tattoo mark on their body, and it's a much older style because they said it was back during the Dark Ages. Maybe what Kernai is using is like a more modern version. Maybe it's a much more manufactured type. Maybe it's easier to obtain and control. Less potency for like simplicities and convenience sake kind of thing. But I am intrigued about that. And Shiki's pissed off because Komura was crying because of events that happened with Kurenai. And I like the words he gave after it because Kurenai says like pretty much like tears are for the weak. Those who win continuously smile. But just kind of like you can kind of see where that can come from, but at the same time, it doesn't always equal out true. But Shiki gives a really good response because he says pretty much like if shedding tears, is a sign of weakness, that he's gonna continue being weak until it turns into strength. So it's trying to forge your own weakness in a way to essentially overcome said weakness, to use that to fuel yourself and to become more powerful. Which is a really nice line from him. It definitely made him, given that MC wisdom, just I'm not smart all the time, but I definitely can give some sentimental words given the time and situation. As the main character's secret power is of giving words of wisdom, which was nice. Then it gets back to Rebecca and Pino and everyone as they're talking to Paul and all the guys that were in Valkyries following. They're all rallied up. They're ready to go out. You have Rebecca also go give words to Homura, which was really nice. Because she tries to talk to her. Homura's she's just not responding. Rebecca's obviously remembering times where Homura like talked about her teacher in such a high spirited attitude, such a determined attitude, but she didn't like try and like whip her into shape. It was just like you got the words across that you wanted to. You got your emotions across that you wanted to, didn't you? So she's trying to help her get in a much more naturally flowed state. Like hers is much more like heart to heart, where Shiki's was kind of like this act of confidence, because what he pretty much said to Homura is he's like, here's what happened to me, and this is how I got fine. And I know you got us, so I know, you'll stand up and, move on stronger, which was really nice because it shows that he's very confident in her capabilities. It's not just like, well, I got over it, so you can get over it. It's, no, you're a strong person, so I know that you can get over it. So it's that nice confidence that he has in his friends and allies that I imagine would really help in a scenario like that. But then, so this part, I got so hyped in the opposite direction because the Kurenai's like little wacky dude is like saying, oh, someone hacked into the Crimson Eye, and I was like, oh man, there's Herman and Wise, and they're taking over, and they're gonna get everything in their favor. They're about to, Eden Zero is about to have, a breakaway point and make this chick look like a fool. Nope, it was not them. It was goddamn Draken Joe. So I'm guessing that he knows that she was trying to screw him over. She was trying to get against him, because I doubt that it was just like a double cross right when she was double crossing him. I'm hoping that gets mentioned later, whether or not he did, because as it is right now, the thing that I really like about Draken Joe is because he's very fresh as a villain for Hiro Mishima. I've read all of his works. He's not a villain for just being like a big, powerful, intimidating bad guy. He's not a character with some torn past that you see what drove them into being some unfortunate soul who had to walk down a dark road. He's not, a character who is completely, good in their mind, and it's all just a matter of perspective. Draken Joe is just a criminal businessman. He's in it for profit and gain, which I like about him. He's just a scummy criminal, and that kind of like business attribute makes him a lot better than Kernai. Kernai is just like a bad person, where Draken Joe is a bad person in a sense only for himself, as I said. It's just like, well, if it makes money for me, it makes money for me. That's what I want overall. And from that, I'm very intrigued to see, like, next chapter, we'll probably get some more, just a little bit of panels from him. I'm hoping that it's like he knew somehow that she was going to betray him, and not just he's like, nah, I really don't want to work with you. Because I like that idea for his character, that he's willing to work with anybody as long as there's profit and benefit for him. Like, even if, like, Shiki and crew, like, somehow teamed up with him, and he would be like, I'm on board because these reasons, and the reasons aren't like, oh, I want to become on your team now. It's like, oh no, these things are involved I could come out on top with. I want money, profit, I want success, and that's what I'm hoping Draken Joe will go down. We will see, though. Obviously, we don't know a lot about him. The only thing we really know is he's one of the Erasion States Galactica. He's got a pretty cool crew, and that he got ether gear, and his is going to be an interesting counter to Shiki's, because Shiki's is gravity, but Draken Joe's is alchemy. So I'm wondering, how those two are going to really mesh in a fight. But then at the end of the chapter, we got some craziness, because here's Valkyrie being, or not Valkyrie, here's Kurenai just being like, all right, I guess I'm going all out. She's decided she's gonna get out her Crimson Steel Knight, which looks to be this gigantic mech. Just looking at it, just guessing, because you see like the railway with some computers and stuff in front of it. I'm guessing it's gonna be like, I don't know, 100 or so feet. Maybe more, maybe 150. I'm just gonna imagine, Godzilla's like 300 feet. I mean, maybe something like a little bit half that. I don't know if it's gonna be Goji size, but definitely something considerable. Because I don't think that there were any, like, robots that big in Rave Master or Fairytale. There were monsters and, like, deities, but no robots like that. So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm wondering if it's going to be a remote controlled robot or if it's going to be a mech. I'm assuming mech, just because it's like, if you have a remote controlled robot, and then you might be good if you're, because remote control, it's off of like, I'm not gonna act like I know like the understanding of between like how remote controls work. I imagine radio waves and different kinds of signals, but like that could get hacked. But I assume if she's directly inside it, or if like her crew is inside it, then it's going to be easier for them to have. I'm hoping. Imagine this. Imagine Kurenai is in the main one, and then Baku, Garrett, and Nino all have their own, like a smaller one, and then they go full on Megazord, and they turn into like gear that goes on to the Crimson Steel Knight. As that would be so sick. I think that would just. We need something like that to happen, because it would just be such a beneficial thing for everyone in so many hype excitement ways. Other than that, I mean, it was the chapter itself. Like, it's weird because not a lot happened. Like, Shiki had a little bit of a scuffle, and he threw a punch, got blocked by Kurenai. Draken Joe showed up. Homura had a short moment with Rebecca had a short moment with Homura. But there was a lot of content for each of those small moments, which I really enjoyed, and a lot to kind of look at and just kind of like theorize, kind of like get a guess on how things are going to go. I'm very intrigued how things kind of develop from here, because I doubt the Colonel Phage is going to show up and end the arc again. I really doubt Kurenai's going to live. There's no reason for a character to live after this. I feel like Draken Joe is going to kill her. I originally thought Valkyrie and her were going to die in a fight together, but honestly, at this point, I see like Draken Joe being the only one really to kill her, as like logically. I mean, Homura could end up doing it. We don't know a lot about Homura, like in terms of like that area. She might be someone that's fine with killing. Who knows? Other than that, drop a comment below. Tell me what you thought about this chapter. If I can get you to thumbs up the video, but from the like button and the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.